Good evening and welcome to another edition of Hgp Sport for today, Friday, May 3, 2019. I am Jaden Samuels. Thanks for joining us. Cycling news. Jamal John, despite crashing onto the first turn of the circuit, finished 12th out of the 17 participants in the time trials of the Pan American Under-23 Cycling Championships in Mexico. Here are the details. Contested in Pachuca de Soto, Mexico on Wednesday, Jamal John was off to an awful start with the crash but came back well to finish 12th in a time of 47 minutes 5.884 seconds in the 33 km distance. Diego Ferreira of Chile proved too good for the pack of 17, finishing first in a time of 40 minutes 10.375 seconds. Guyana, who was the largest contingent of the 5 Caribbean countries being represented in Mexico, finished ahead of Paraguay, Panama, Aruba, and Argentina. Meantime, the Trinidad and Tobago female cyclist Tinielle Campbell, who campaigns in Europe, won the female time trials. Costa Rica's Jennifer Morales placed second, and Cuban J.D. Pradera third. The 21-year-old Campbell has become the first Trinidad and Tobago women's cyclist to ever achieve a medal at the Pan American level. She rides for World Cycling Center Trade Team in Switzerland. The Guyanese male team would be in action in the men's 140 km road race tomorrow. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport. Cricket news. Berbice and Select on the 17 played to a draw, while Demerara was triumphant over Essequibo on the final day of the hand-in-hand Insurance Under 19 Intercounty 3-day tournament. Stanford Howard reports.
Demerara ended the first round of competition on a high note over at Border Ground. Demerara, who chose to bowl on opening day against Essequibo and bundled them out for 75 runs in 33.4 overs in their first innings, managed 207 runs in theirs to put the Essequibos back in. This time the batting held up to Demerara's bowling as they got past the 150 mark, which however wasn't enough to defy the odds of Demerara taking the first round in fine style, with 9 wickets in hand to reach a victory target of 25 in just 4.3 overs for the loss of 1 wicket. Robin Williams provided a more satisfying performance than in the first innings, with an unbeaten 18, while Sasing Singh provided 5. Joel Spooner was declared man of the match with match figures of 11 for 64. Over at the next match at Everest between Select on the 17 and Berbice, it was always a touch and go between the two teams, with Select on the 17 winning the toss and elected to bowl on the first day. And oh boy, was Berbice in for a surprise when they were all back into the dressing room for 127 all out from 36.2 overs. When it was Select on the 17 turn to take to the driver's seat, they went the full distance and made 218 in just 72 overs. But it was Berbice who had the comeback surprise as they batted late into the second day to produce a 201 lead, with Alex Algoon being the man behind the lead with 119 to end the day. On the final day of play, Berbice declared their second innings on 404 for 8. With a lead of 313 and with an enormous victory target and the rain cloud setup, it appears that a draw was inevitable, as the Select on the 17 reached 39 for 3 of their 13 intense overs when the rain came and stopped playing. The match ended in a draw after weather conditions did not permit the players to take the field to continue play. The second round of the hand-in-hand on the 19th Intercounty 3-day tournament will continue on Saturday, the 4th of May, 2019 at Lozignan, with Essequibo battling Berbice, while Select on the 17 will compete with Demerara at GCC. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard. More cricket news. With still more cricketing years under his belt, Kieron Pollard is optimistic of a bright future as a player in West Indies cricket once again. Let's take a look. If given the opportunity to play, I will play, are the words of Kieron Pollard, another six-hitter who is still interested in playing cricket for the West Indies. Under Cameron's leadership, the backbone of the Caribbean side was displaced, causing significant turmoil in the region's cricket, but Pollard sees a brighter future and expressed his interest in playing.
You know, as I said, every day I get the opportunity to play, I want to do my best. There have been a lot of turmoil in West Indies cricket over the last couple of years, but what we have seen in the last couple of weeks, there's a change. Pollard was one of the guys blacklisted. The most I can do every time I step on the cricket field is try to put runs on the board. There's people there who have the jobs to select and whatever, and we see how that goes. As I said, I'm 31 years, Chris Gill is still playing and he's 39 and he's still whacking it out the ground.
The repeated squabbles between the West Indies board and the Players Association were previously the reasons that led to strikes by the leading players in 2005 and 2009, and the threats of strikes on an almost monthly basis. If the Caribbean side is to salvage any pride at the upcoming World Cup, they will have to bring their A game and more so be consistent. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport. More teams, more cricket. The ICC has expanded its men's T20 rankings to 80 teams. Samuel Gillis reports.
The ICC has awarded T20 status to all T20 matches between its members, swelling the list of T20 teams from 18 to 104. All teams that have played a minimum of 60 T20 against other ICC members since May 2016 now feature in the expanded rankings. The first expanded rankings list had Pakistan at one end with 286 ratings, as well as Indonesia, China, Gambia, Switzerland, Rwanda, and others with no points against their name. Some interesting movements have taken place, with Nepal moving to 11th above two test-playing nations, Zimbabwe 13th and Ireland 15th. Russia, Turkey, Cameroon, and Bermuda are yet to play the requisite number of matches to feature on the rankings table. The West Indies lag behind in 9th place. T20 is a short form of cricket. At the professional level, T20 matches were originally introduced by the England and Wales Cricket Board in 2003 for the inter-county competition. For Hgp Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
And finally in sport this evening, some football news. As a result of a football development partnership between the Guyana Football Federation and the Guyana franchise holder for Kentucky Fried Chicken, a national under-20 knockout tournament has been created for clubs affiliated to the various regional member associations. The Bartica leg of the tournament will be played among 8 clubs, namely Beacon, Rising Stars, Lazio, Wolves United, Potaro Strikers, Rivers View, Mill Ballers, and Agatage. This tournament takes place from May 13 to 19 at the Bartica Secondary School ground. The winner of each RMA leg will participate in the national playoff in Georgetown. A number of balls, a pair of gold nets, and other equipment, along with a check to cover the administration of the tournament, were handed over to the Bartica Football Association. That concludes our sportscast for this evening. I'm Jaden Samuels, reminding you to say yes to life, yes to sport, and no to drugs. Good night.